Right? Who's going to care if nature doesn't care? I'm going to care. I'm going to care.
They are the wood enthusiasts.
Steph, can we get rid of the horse? Yeah, can we get rid of the... Thank you. Thanks, Steph. I appreciate that. So we've got a fun little segment here, one that we've been writing for quite some time, but we had actually Mr. Clutterbuck kind of take over, and he wanted to discuss one of his favorite things to do, and I know this is something that Gary's actually taken issue with. And he's been taking issue with it for some time now. And Gary, why don't you explain what Glen's going to do, and kind of before we go into the segment?
Glen's going to stick his fingers in dirt and then suck on his fingers.
Hi! Welcome to Moisture Measure. My name's Glen Clutterbuck, and I want to show you how you can make sure your trees are nice and moist. First thing you want to do is, one, get near the tree, of course, and you want to observe the soil surrounding the tree. But what you want to do is really get underneath the mulch and expose the soil. Feel it underneath your fingernail, okay? Look at that soil a little bit. Feel it underneath your fingernail. Sniff it. But what you really want to do to find out, yeah, I think that's about a 67, 68. Yeah, could probably get it up to an 85 in a couple of days, but what you want to do is smell it, but really give it a soil suckle, as we like to call it. And this is really good for you. I'm kind of getting... Yeah, I was dead on. 68% moisture. That'll help you tell with a good soil suckle the amount of hydration that your trees might need. So, hope to see you soon.
I'm not coming. I can't do it.
Oh my goodness, Gary, would you just stop it? Nobody agrees with Glen. We don't even have a crap clue what he's doing. The Clutterbuck family are the one giving us money, Gary.
I just don't want to do it.
Gary, I don't want to do this either. Glen's off there watering full-grown trees. None of this makes any sense anyways.
So you're on board with me then?
Gary, you know I've got your back. The only reason Glen's on here is because his family's funding half of the friggin' episode. Look at this thing. It's pure gold. Glen Clutterbuck's family just bought a green screen for us, Gary. Come on, Gary. My goodness, you're the wisest guy in the entire show, Gary. You're the guy with the most knowledge. You can't be just sitting out in one of the scenes with the most oddball guys doing the strangest thing in the whole world. Frankly, this is going to turn I'm going to have a hot picante. Why would you get off the set? This is a professional set. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Gary, we gotta have you back on the set. I can't do this set alone. I can't do this without Gary Gilbert.
Mr. Clutterbucks walking through the forest, watering trees, even though they don't need it. Mr. Clutterbucks.
So Glen, as we're talking, I've run into Glen here, and he's hydrating some trees. He's hydrating some trees right here on the riverfront, right here on the lake, kind of where the lake meets the river. And Glen has brought up some serious frustrations, and someone that has had a passion for trees and has actually given up a large part of his life supporting trees. He quit his job, and he was asked to quit. He was asked to quit his job.
It was hard when
he was encouraged.
You're going into the office, but how can you go inside when there's trees outside that are thirsty? You can see it. You can see.
What are we looking at here, Glen?
Well, this is a birch.
Let's have a look at what
it's
we're looking at here.
Underdeveloped birch. It's an underdeveloped birch tree. Look at these leaves. Look at these leaves.
Let's have a look at.
See this? This is a problem. You know what this comes from? Worms come here, and the leaves can't defend themselves because there's no hydration. The lake takes all the water. The lake takes all the water.
No. So my first thought is we have a lake. We're talking maybe 7 feet
maybe 7 feet stretch from here to the lake, but you can test that there's a bit of an issue
See,
there.
this is what happens. So since there's a lake, people assume...
There's an assumption.
Right? It doesn't need the water. It's hard to talk about because people don't understand that if we don't have hydrated trees, right, leaves fall apart. Carbon dioxide doesn't turn into oxygen. You don't breathe it, you die.
Wow.
So why aren't you hydrating your trees?
I mean, let's pay attention to some of these
how many
things. It feels
bottles-
like we need to start paying attention.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Hey, would you look at this? A water plane.
Yeah. Is he going to drop water on trees? Probably not.
Look at that, a water plane. See that, Glenn? We've got a water plane right there in the air. See that?
Larry, that's an incredible shot.
Wow, that's exciting. This is exciting.
So this should be white.
This should be
right?
white. So this is
Bright
a
white
birch.
It's a birch, bright white, but instead it's going brown and it's peeling silver birch. Because hydration. Well, because of a lack of hydration, right? Hydrationally challenged, I like to call the trees. Because,
So you don't like to use the term dehydration. It's
well,
stereotypical.
It's a little bit, see, look at this. See, look at this. This is the end result of what? This should have 3 shoots and they should all be twice as big. And I've seen, listen, Larry, I've seen it. I have seen trees. No. Twice the size, same age, beautiful, white bark, beautiful trees, hydrated. Because since I was 15 years old, I watered it every single day. This guy's an idiot. People don't understand
Every
it.
single day of your life.
People do not understand
Every single day of your life you watered it.
the beauty of it.
And sometimes you're saying that in our broken atmosphere and nature, and it's just not doing its job.
People just don't understand you need to take care of the environment. That's what they don't get, okay? You need to care for the environment. Larry, that's a silver birch. There's so many trees. There's so many things to do today. It's good seeing you, Larry. Idiot.
Well, that was an odd scene. That was a really odd scene because that was a silver birch. And Gary pulled me aside on set that day, and he pulled us off set. And, we had all the filmers and all the producers there, and he pulled us off set and said, "Wait a minute, hold on, stop the show, put pause, let's take a break, let's put the brakes on, take away the gas, let's slow down, take out the keys, put a pause on it, put the brakes on, stop, wait a minute, guys, wait a minute, stop, cut the lines, hold on, slow down, we got something to say here." And what was that, Gary?
It's a silver birch.
That's right, that's what he said. It's a silver birch.
The other thing you need to do is you got to ask Glenn about the polar ice caps.
I'm not going to talk about the polar
No,
ice
that
caps.
bugs me, and you got to bring it up.
I'm not going to talk about the polar ice caps.
Well, ask him.
Well, I know he likes the ice caps melting. He says it all the time. He says, "Let those things
And
melt."
that's why he litters.
He says, "Let those ice caps melt."
That's why he litters. And
That's why he
that
litters.
video was
But I'm not going to talk about it in front of these people. That's the last thing they want to hear is that he wants the polar ice caps to melt so the trees have more
cut
water.
this out later, but that was my issue.
I'm not the one who cuts it out. It's going to be Paul and all his friends. He likes to try to make me look like an idiot. Paul's the idiot.
Rub fresh and you'll feel real good. And rub slow just like you know you should. Just get a little grit and get a little wood. And rub fresh just like you know you should.
So me and Mr. Gilbert, we were up late at night. We went out for some snacks. We went out and get some wings. And we came back and Gary said, "Hey, let's go do a rub fresh." So the producers don't even know. So I'm just going to show you the clips. This is kind of a one-off. We're not going to be able to do this very often. It's it's probably not appropriate. It's just a little bit fun. So let's go have a look and see what we did.
Yeah, I got to get that one.
Oh yeah. Ooh, look at that.
You can always rely on wood. Okay. So this is a very interesting wood here. We're going to do a quick rub fresh on it. Safety first, though. Safety first. What that is, it's a poplar. Yeah, that's very old. Probably 1800s for sure. You can tell by the smell. So,
Mr. Gilbert invited me to be part of this segment. He said, "Go have a sniff of this." So I'm going to go up there and have a look, see what I can figure out.
Sweet, sassy, molasses.
So here we go. I got this little piece of 40 grit, and I'm going to have a little sniff of this and see what I can find out.
best guess is that's a Hawaiian pine. Hey, wait a minute. Look at this. Look at this, Gary. Look at this, Gary. Mr. Gilbert. Mr. Gilbert, have you seen this? Look at this, Mr. Gilbert. Oh, I think that's a, you know what, I think that's a 75 Hawaiian pine. And I think that because notice the size of the knot. Look at this, Gary. Look at this, Gary. It's a different type of wood.
I'm looking.
Look at this, Gary. That's from Southwold. That's from Southwold, Ontario. Is that what you said, Gary? That's from I think you put it at the late 1800s. That smells like it's from Southwold. That's poplar from Southwold, Gary. Oh, that's from Southwold. I recognize that smell, Gary. I had a friend from Southwold, and I used to always go up to the poplars, and I know that's Southwold. Well, thanks again for joining us, and I know I speak on behalf of Gary when I say that we are really excited to do this episode. We are really excited to focus on Glen and kind of look at some of the stuff Glen's been doing, and we want to thank the Clutterbuck Industries for all their support and just for knowing, kind of supporting Glen. And oh, what a fantastic guy, what an interesting guy Mr. Clutterbuck is, isn't he, Gary? Isn't he, Gary?
Yep.
We just really want to thank the Clutterbuck family and Glen for kind of supporting us and Glen being part of the show and just kind of doing doing what Glen does, as they say.
So get out there, start
Clutterbucking.